I know what you're thinking. Justin, why are you wearing a tank top? It's because it's hot. It's a functional piece. I got shoulders, you got shoulders. Do we need to make a conversation about it? You've seen shoulders before. Let's continue. We've done a video like this in the past few months, and if you didn't see that video, I know another thing you might be thinking, which is, what the heck is the people pile?
What the heck is that?
Well, if you think about it, it honestly is a little bit self-explanatory. It is kind of the way it seems. The people pile is where most people you know want you to be because it's where they are. And to be honest with you, you might be there too, and you don't even know it. It's going with the flow. It's seeking to blend in with the crowd. It's not making an effort to not do what the masses are doing. It is quite the opposite. You're influenced by the masses. Is this a bad thing? No, honestly, it's kind of natural. It's a part of our nature as humans to group into tribes and to congregate, to find tribes and groups of people who we want to earn the support of or earn the approval of. Totally get that. But you see what the masses are doing today? There's some silly stuff going on out here. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And to be honest with you, getting yourself out of the people pile is a whole lot bigger than what fragrance you decide to wear. This is not even the tip of the iceberg. It's the tip of the tip of the tip. But because this is a fragrance channel, we're going to start with fragrance. I think it's a decent start because it is representative of who you are, who you want to be, how you want to represent yourself, and whether or not you're going to allow your insecurities to kind of rule and govern how you navigate the world and navigate people. So some of you guys are putting this together and saying, all right, Justin, are you going to just present us with a bunch of off the beaten path, a bunch of off the wall, artistic, crazy, unfamiliar, niche fragrances that we need to be buying and wearing so that we can be different and stand out? No, that is not what I'm saying. I'll be honest, in videos past, I may have said that, but that was a lesser developed version of Justin. We have evolved. I'm talking about finding somewhere in the middle. It doesn't really take a whole lot of effort to not do what everyone's doing, but to still do something that is appealing to others and is still authentically you. And I have 10 fragrances that I believe fall into that. These are fragrances that, as you can see by the title, signature scents, they function as signatures. They're fragrances you can wear for any occasion, any time of the year, but they're not going to have you just smelling like the latest blue designer fragrance or the latest super beast mode Middle Eastern clone, whatever it is. We're talking about stuff a little bit more special than that. And again, it's just my sincere effort to help you think a little bit differently about choosing your fragrances, which hopefully can permeate to how you do other things in your life, how you decide to navigate this crazy thing called life. So every fragrance I talk about will be linked in the description. How about we dive right into it? In no particular order, the first one up here is from Nishane. I almost chose its predecessor, but I decided to go with its flanker just to kind of change it up a little bit. I featured the original a whole lot more. This is Wulong Cha X. This takes the original, already very popular, very appealing Wulong Cha that could easily be in this spot. This kind of green, white, yellow, and gray smelling fragrance. It's kind of cottony, pillowy, musky, soft tea. There's a greenness to it. There's some citrus in there. It's so calming, so soothing, but at the same time just smells like something you would wear on your body. It doesn't just smell like aromatherapy. It comes off as a clean and unique but very understandable body scent. And the X version, honestly, maybe just condenses it a little bit, adds a little bit more edge to it. It's maybe not quite as soft, musky, and ethereal. There's a little bit more substance here. Some people might say it maybe leans a little bit more masculine, while the original is perhaps right down the middle unisex, but that'll be up to you to decide. I like them both pretty much equally. They're interchangeable for me. Again, for the sake of this video, I decided to go with this one. That is Nishane Wulong Cha X. We have kind of a forgotten gem from the house of Acqua de Parma. This was perfumed by two master perfumers, I believe Francois Demachy and Alberto Marias. This is what they call Colonia Intensa. And this does what Acqua de Parma really does best. The citrus aromatic, paying homage to an older, more classic style of perfumery. This one smells utterly timeless to me though. This is primarily reliant on spices, lots of ginger, lots of cardamom in addition to the lemon. So it has a citrus bite, but it's very spicy in a fresh and zingy way. You have a nice kind of herbal floral heart and a musky woody base. To me, it just wears like a gentlemanly fragrance. It wears very Italian in this genre. Again, the citrus aromatic, it just has this carefree and effortless sophistication to it. And I think it's a phenomenal one from this collection that doesn't get talked about all that much, and it's such an easy fragrance to wear. You can wear it anywhere, anytime, but it smells so put together. I love this stuff. Let me know if you happen to be one of the few who loves it too. That is Colonia Intensa. From Roja Parfums, this is a pretty refined fragrance. This is not going to be for the taste of every guy out there. I think you got to be someone who really enjoys putting themselves together, enjoys dressing a little bit more elevated. Doesn't mean you got to be wearing a suit every day, but you just want to put forth a dapper and maybe somewhat authoritative energy towards everyone you meet. You like to walk with confidence and you like to smell the same way. This is Apex. This is the original EDP. I really enjoy this stuff. I always have. It is green per the way it looks. It is a green, fruity, citrusy fragrance, woody, maybe a little bit mossy smelling. It does have this kind of old school feel tucked away in there. Some people say it reminds them of the original Polo. I can totally see that vibe, but to me, this is just a little bit more complex. There's a booziness here. There's resins, maybe some leather. It gets kind of earthy, leathery, more balsamic as it dries, a touch of a sweetness in there that's very natural and not gourmand. I just love the development of it. I love how complex it feels on the skin, but very cohesive all at the same time. And overall, it's this slightly mature, sophisticated vibe. So this is a signature scent for a guy, again, who either feels mature or is mature, wants to portray that vibe. A solid confidence infuser for sure. Apex, let me know what you think if you've tried it. I recently featured this in my designer summer list. And this one, it's so easy. It's an easy breezy wear, but there's something about it that is definitive, that is particular. It actually has a very clear personality to it. It's not really trying to be anything else. It's not a big mishmash of stuff that works. It is what it is, and you like it or you don't care for it. I happen to really like it. This is from Bvlgari. It's Man Rain Essence. Such a well done fragrance through and through. It paints the picture that it seeks out to paint. It smells like clean, fresh, rejuvenating rainfall, rainwater. Lotus blossom primarily gives it that rainy feel. I think people say there's maybe a petrichor vibe in here. Kind of. I do kind of get that vibe. Much less though like rain in the city or rain on the cement. It's more just rain in nature in a way. I do get this woodiness very underlying. There's this overall kind of fresh muskiness. Carries it and it acts as a beautiful vehicle for it. But overall it's clean. It's a clean scent that is not like your everyday blue freshie coming out that's trying to please everyone. I really appreciate that about it. Get out of the people pile while still smelling fresh, clean, and approachable. Man Rain Essence from Bvlgari. There's others from this collection I've been meaning to try that I've heard probably would do a similar thing in their own ways just as well. We're reaching the halfway point here, and this fragrance is a total classic. This came out in the 1990s, and it doesn't smell like it. It's utterly timeless. It spawned so many fragrances that have come since. It is an originator. It is a trendsetter, a trailblazer. I don't think there's really anything that smelled quite like this before it came out. This is Silver Mountain Water from Creed. Yes, complain all you want. Complain about the performance. If that is a factor, if that's an issue, I'm not going to sit here and defend it. I'm just going to say for your sake, skip it. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of other fragrances out here that perform better. Has this fragrance and many other fragrances from the house waned in performance over the years? Perhaps. It's maybe not all that definitive and it can really depend on so many variables, but I can say that in its entirety, Silver Mountain Water, my 2018 bottle here, doesn't perform great. But I don't really need it to. I actually would not want a fragrance profile like this to be really strong and noticeable and really long lasting, because at the end of the day, it's kind of a weird scent. And weird is bad when it's too much. It's inky, it's kind of metallic, it's fresh, it's kind of alpine smelling. There's black currant in here. There's something kind of tart about it while still being a little bit fruity. Lots of bergamot in here. It dries a little musky on the skin. It smells clean. It smells oddly captivating and utterly versatile, even for being a little strange. And again, I think it's in its favor that it's not uber strong, because again, you're just going to be a little bit off-putting, which is not only going to get you out of the people pile, it's going to make people not want to be around you anymore. It's a little bit too far to one direction. Let's again find that middle ground. Silver Mountain Water from Creed. Let me know if you're a fan. Now, I know there's maybe some of you guys who sometimes feel overwhelmed when you watch videos like this, when there's some great recommendations coming your way, really interesting stuff that you do want to try, but then you look over at your shelf of fragrances you already own and you're just like, man, I have so many fragrances already, some of which I love, most of which I don't really care for. And honestly, I'm not really wearing. They're collecting dust. I feel a little bit guilty, but I just want to have a great collection of stuff that I love. One question that I have received so much over the years, Justin, what do you do with your fragrances that you don't wear anymore? And honestly, in the past, I've never had a great response to that. In the past, I've used certain social media platforms that ultimately backfired for me in a terrible way in years past. So I don't feel confident recommending using these social media platforms to sell fragrances. And obviously there's things like eBay and stuff, but I know it can get a little bit slippery. So the question is there a dedicated place to do this? I haven't seen one before when it comes to just fragrances until now. This is not a sponsored video. These people are not paying me to say this, but they did approach me with a solution, and I am so excited about it after so many years of not really being able to help people with this issue, introducing this app that's called Rescented. And it's very simple. It's an intuitive marketplace. It is purely a secure and private platform strictly for fragrance exchange, primarily dealing with selling, not swapping or trading. I think that's something they're working on later, but for now it is just selling. You can list your fragrances in the marketplace. You can provide all the details. They have a whole secure way with how they deal with disputes among buyers and sellers. So all of that is taken care of. They're constantly updating the app. They're trying to make it better. And I do believe they will be expanding to a web service pretty soon, because right now it is a little limited. It's only provided on iOS. So you Android users, you can't really use this right now, but in the future you will be able to use it from your browsers. But if you do have an iPhone, you can download the app right now. I don't really need to explain to you how it works. I think once you get it, you'll be able to poke around and see this is really simple. It's self-explanatory. And the coolest thing is that it's free to download. So I'm on there. I'm going to start putting up stuff for sale, and I'll be buying stuff there as well. So there's going to be a link in the description. It is my personal link that they're providing to you guys, just the Fresh Squad. So I do recommend going down to the description. If you've got an iPhone, download the app. Again, it's free. Poke around and see if it's worth your time, and see if it can be a solution to all these fragrance bottles you don't use anymore. Anyway, as you can see, I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Let me know what you think down in the comments. All right, continuing on. This is one of my favorite indie houses known as Dasein. They've been around for some time. They don't get as much love as they really deserve, and I think primarily because they don't have a lot of fragrances. They don't put out a ton of fragrances all the time. I do have one of their tried and trues here. This is Winter. Don't be fooled by the name. It doesn't mean you just wear it in the winter. You can wear this year round. It's just meant to depict the feelings of being out in nature, in the cold air. Maybe in a forest, you do get this tree, foresty, woody vibe, kind of balsamic. Cardamom is in here. It is fresh, spicy. Again, there's this cooling air that runs through it that it's so transportive, but at the same time, it's such an attractive scent profile. I think cardamom really plays a role in that. It's a very attractive note. It's used in every corner of perfumery. And it's done so well here to keep this very natural feel that definitely pays homage to the inspiration. But again, it's just really attractive to wear, really easy to wear, so versatile, very special. Let me know if you're a fan of Winter. And if you haven't checked it out, once again, there's a link in the description. I'll see if I can find a sample as well. One of my absolute favorite niche houses has to be Ormonde Jayne. And this is one of the classics, Montabaco Intensivo. Takes the classic DNA, this musky woodiness combined with citrus and maybe this green feel, and it makes tobacco the center of the show. It is more of a leafy, earthy, light tobacco. It's not super smoky or ashy or sweet or anything like that. It is a very naturally integrated tobacco into this woody, musky, citrusy profile that is completely itself. This DNA is so special to me because it's simple. They've created so many offshoots on it, and it carries through in beautiful ways in all of their offerings that they have. Such a cohesion through this house. I really appreciate that about a niche brand. This one presents as such an easy to wear, versatile fragrance that just makes you smell a little bit more distinguished without speaking too loudly. It doesn't scream. It is a little bit more understated, not the strongest scent, but it's just so handsome. Let me know what you think of Montabaco Intensivo, and if you think it's a great option to take a step out of the people pile. This next fragrance has an interesting backstory to it. Some people question the credibility of it. I am here to neither confirm or deny the story. If you're interested, you can check it out for yourself. I think it's on their website. But this is from the house of Aiden Bob, and it's simply Aiden Bob. It is officially their first fragrance that, again, has an interesting history, but you be the judge on what you think about it. Nonetheless, what do I think about the scent? Scent alone, it's beautiful. It's simple, but it is special. There is a citrusy feel. There is a freshness to it. I get this interesting, almost nutty quality, almost borderline, mildly sweet, nutty, woody, maybe a little bit spicy, but overall it has this kind of clean, natural wood sweet profile to it that is just, again, it's handsome. Like the Ormonde Jayne, a handsome scent profile. That's the best word I can use to describe it. It's easy. It's maybe not the most standout. It's not the most distinctive, but it's also not generic. And you can just wear it anywhere, anytime, and people are going to enjoy the way you smell. And they're going to be able to tell that you don't just smell like a regular old department store cologne. Nothing wrong with that, but this video is about stepping away from just the easy, low-hanging fruit. This is Aiden Bob. Once again, let me know what you think. Up next is from the house of Manos, Gerakinis. This is a house you almost never see talked about on social media. I'm not sure why. I think they celebrated their 10th anniversary last year in 2024. They sent me this fragrance over and they made it in commemoration of that anniversary, and they just simply call it Sillage X. It's not the most unique, I would say. Not to say it smells generic. It does remind me of some other niche fragrances I have and have smelled, primarily a little bit of Bvlgari from Nishane, which I actually prefer. I almost put that in this video, but I've just talked about it a lot. I decided to go with this one because, again, why not get something newer on your radar? It's in that vein. If you like Bvlgari, and maybe there's only a few of you guys who've tried it, and that being this almost ambery, resinous fougere-like feel with a fresh spiciness, but something very naturally woody, maybe a bit of citrus to add some brightness, but overall it dries to this kind of mossy, woody, slightly resinous base that's very handsome. If you like that, or at least the idea of it, then you'll probably enjoy this one. It wears very sophisticated. It wears a touch mature, but still modern, not old-fashioned or anything like that. Not the strongest fragrance. It's a little bit more understated, but that keeps it classy, I believe. And it's not like any typical generic profile out there, so it will stand out as something different without being something that's trying hard to be different. I hope that makes sense. And the final fragrance is from the house of Zaharoff. This one is maybe a little bit polarizing. It smells amazing to me. Some people say it smells like BO to them. I don't get BO out of this. To me, it just smells incredibly and interestingly clean. This is called Signature Royale X, and it is known to be a very musky fragrance, musk forward. If you're not a musk fan, then maybe this isn't the one for you. I guess I'm a musk fan, so to my nose, there's not even a shadow of a doubt of how much I enjoy this stuff. It is clean, dirty clean, however you want to call it. There is this clean kind of citrusy feel, but the musk in here maybe mixed with some spices. Some people say it's like BO. It maybe has this slightly sweaty feel, or this naturally like halfway through the day body kind of feel. It's really going for something a little bit more suggestive than that, but you can read their website if you want to know more about that. I think it is an incredibly versatile fragrance that smells utterly attractive. It's simple, but it's a complete attention grabber. It's gotten me some actually great compliments. I've had people ask me what this is. It just carries in the air in a certain way. It blends with your vibe in a certain way that is not like the norm, but it's not complicated. I'd love to know if you love Signature Royale X as much as I do. I'm open to those of you who don't love it. Let us know what you think down in the comments, but that's gonna do it for me. These are just 10 more fragrances to start to get you out of the people pile, if you care to do so. If you don't, then this whole video was a waste of time, and that's okay. But nonetheless, I'm so grateful that you hung out with me here. Once again, you can try all the fragrances down in the description. Make sure you check out Rescented down in the description as well, and thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.